legend host of Beyond Belief. Yes, Jonathan Frakes.
I asked the guys at my meet and greet, to what do you attribute the fascination with X Factor or Beyond Belief in Germany and Austria and Switzerland? Why here and not Japan or England? You got an answer? I know you have an answer.
Okay, I think it's the good taste of the German audience.
Well done! Running for governor.
You know, they started showing those like 20 years ago in the morning program where normally they showed cartoons.
Yeah.
They showed those and like it traumatized all of our generation. And it's like, well, everyone is still...
So they're still attached to it because they've been traumatized.
Are you?
That's one way to do it.
To speak about traumata, Jonathan, what was your first reaction when you got the call from Germany? There's some crazy dudes want to do a reboot.
I was thrilled, but I had no idea until I got here to the next con about the level of fandom and the fact that they know it and they care about it and they love it, and then we did as many episodes as we did, nothing but American actors, American directors, and I just watched the guy who looked like him. He looked just like that guy, but he spoke German. I remember going to a FedCon in Munich many years ago with Brent Spiner, who played Data, and we were in this hotel. It was either before or after some event, and these two guys were having a cocktail, and they said, "I am the German Riker," and the guy said, "And I am the German Data." So we had a photo op with our doppelgangers. What do you think? More? Yeah. More X Factor? Excellent idea. So what happens? Halloween, will initiate, reboot? Does it come out at Halloween?
It's always on Halloween.
It is Halloween.
And traditionally, I think this year Halloween is a Friday in Germany. All over the world. So the next episode.
Whole weekend of X Factor.
So it could be Friday or Saturday. I don't know yet. So we will know in about 3 months.
Are we taking questions from the audience?
I think we should.
We should.
This is a very nice audience.
You will be back. You will be back on this stage anyway to talk about Star Trek. So now we can take like an extra tour on all the fact and fiction Beyond Belief fans. Or even Star Trek questions, right? I mean, you got it all.
There we go. Bam! Spotlight on. First of all, in Star Trek uniform.
Yes, of course. It's FedCon.
Greatly appreciated.
My question is, have you seen an episode of Beyond Belief where you think this episode is like just the worst, or not the worst, but it scared you?
Only these guys scare me. No, I've finished my stuff, and then they put this other stuff, then they put the show together. So this is all new to me.
So you've never
Because we do all the, what do they call, the wraparounds together in a couple of days, and what about that location?
Isn't that your living room?
It's in the opinion of Jonathan Frakes, it's an awful location, and he's right.
It smelled bad. There were bugs. The place had burned down and been rebuilt.
In there it was
very dodgy.
100 degrees.
The owner's really weird.
It was really wild. Anyway, we did all the wraparounds together, and some of the stories, if you will, hadn't been cut together or edited together. So it's as new to me as it is to you. Not that I'm not scared.
Yes, just because, as it was said before, I think the show traumatized a little bit of our generation. I know for me, I had an episode that was like very scary to me as a child, and it wasn't even a real story, which is the funniest thing.
I thought you were being facetious, so it is the fact that they were traumatized that they came back. Living proof right there.
Yeah.
We apologize and we thank you.
Thank you.
Next question.
And spotlight, bam. And spotlight,
Yeah.
bam.
I want.
Oh, it's up there. Sorry, we didn't see that.
Bam.
So I wanted to ask. There are a lot of internet memes about X Factor, and I told my friends about this event and like that you're coming, and they don't know Star Trek or stuff, and they just knew the memes, and
Can't hear you.
oh.
Wir müssen das Mikro ein bisschen, das Publikum-Mikro ist sehr leise on stage.
So, is it better? I don't know. So I wanted to ask how do you feel about the internet memes that are around about X Factor? Because I told my friends about this event, and like they don't know Star Trek or stuff. They just knew like the memes that are surrounding you, and I just wanted to ask how are you feeling about that all present on the internet, that you can't like control, but young people only know you because of like these jokes on the internet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The memes, yes? Who's the tallest man you ever saw? Have you ever wanted to write your name in wet cement? Have you noticed how real estate agents have become celebrities? Did you ever want to go wandering beneath the deep blue sea? The memes, I think, best of. First of all, the memes are those absurd, we used to call them the Edelmans, because Barry Edelman used to write the show, and they had that wonderful pun quality to them. But the meme that really took off, two of them, one was the half speed of the ones I just did, where I sound like I'm completely drunk. Did you ever notice how very embarrassing, but very successful. And the other one are the ones where where it was fiction, and the host, or the guy who played the host, would say, "Not this time. We made this one up. Sorry, we fooled you. The writers made it. So we did. These guys created the same vibe that the memes had, because I think the memes, frankly, kept the show alive from the 90s. I guess we made it in the 90s. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she was kind of asking that, now the young kids know you from the memes, and they haven't seen obviously the next generation, so how does...
We're glad to have them.
Damn, what's the next question down here, right?
No,
Oh, it's up there!
It's in the balcony.
Hello?
Hello.
Does this work though? Oh my god, it does.
Are you going to give us a little song?
Oh, please, no. You wouldn't want that.
She looks like she's ready to sing.
Oh, really? No. Okay, so sorry. Now you're making me very embarrassed. During the X Factor run, we've seen a lot of creepy crawlies, ghosties, and aliens. If you had the chance to meet someone, would you rather meet an extraterrestrial or the dead friend from your, I don't know, dark past?
Ooh, what I'd rather... Is this a question for everyone, I would hope?
I mean, yeah,
this-
sure.
yes.
All of you.
Would
Ghost
you
or
rather
aliens?
meet an extraterrestrial or a dead person, a ghost?
Ghost.
Are those our choices?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as the official spokesperson for the paranormal, as you can see by these guys hiring me for this job, I'd like to meet the extraterrestrial and hold off on the ghost. Thank you very much. Gerhard, your thoughts?
Should I ask you a question or
No, you have to answer the question about the
the extraterrestrial?
extraterrestrial versus ghost.
I think it's
Work on your
just fair
answer.
to say I want to meet the ghost. Actually.
Ghost.
Jonathan Frakes.
Oh. Former ghost. Not a ghost yet.
Please stay alive for a while.
Long
You know what Riker says? I'm gonna live forever. Famous Riker line. Almost as famous as Red Alert! Anybody up in the rafters there?
Pow! Hello, how do you do?
Very well.
I'm sorry, that's how you just greeted me earlier. I have a question. You obviously enjoy doing those intros, either that or you are just a really great actor. I mean, it can both be true, right? I just would like to know, is it all just scripted by somebody else, or do you really have some creative freedom to come up with your own stuff and say, oh, I want to do that line, or maybe take this?
No, it's all written, and then we collectively go through them before we film them to nuance some of the. I'm their American specialist. I added sometimes a little American touch. Oh, and then what's that wonderful writer's name who we had with us?
Burned.
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 I went and did the kid.
No, it was John, the kid.
John.
Yeah.
I went and did his little indie movie.
In Germany, we call it Danglish. That
Danglish.
means German English.
Yeah.
So that's quite it.
But we aspired, all of us, to do the show in the tone, that's why I called them the Edelmans. Because this guy named Al Schwartz used to direct them, and the look of the show is very much what Al got. And the set design and the fire and the dead animals and all the things that we experienced. But the Edelmans, the puns that made the memes, that made part of the charm of the show, we all aspired to try to honor, I think is a good way to put it.
Thank you for sharing your joy with that.
Pleasure's all mine.
Jonathan, do you remember the lobster, the big lobster? in the
Yes,
bathtub?
I do.
That was very embarrassing, but very funny. You will see in one of the next episodes.
Nice tease, Gerhard. They're gonna come back. I hope they don't have to wait till Halloween. Sir,
Hi. As
in
somebody,
uniform,
thank you.
very appreciative.
As somebody who has seen everything, director, actor, theater, what do you think of the future of cinema and TV, especially with today's AI content being generated, and your format being with X Factor one of the ones that are probably the easiest to imitate? What's your opinion on where we're going to go in the future with creativity and acting?
First of all, I think TV is the future, streaming TV specifically, but TV that can be made for a number that people can palate, and because films, as we know, I mean, you saw what happened this weekend. Lilo and Stitch opened, huge, but that's the title everyone knew. Tom Cruise movie opened, and it's like the fourth or fifth version of that movie. The Marvel movies, the Harry Potter movies. It seems that few companies are risking their financial necks by making new independent stories or telling new independent stories. So they're trying to. COVID was part of it. It shut the business down. The strike shut the business down, and frankly, we haven't fully recovered. But to continue to do television the way we do, we knocked out episodes in a week, a lot of episodes together. It can be planned, if it's scheduled and planned well, it can be financially viable, and that I think is the first. Unfortunately, it's a business. I wish it were just art, but it is a business. So it has a lot to do with money and a lot to do with loyalty. I think the reason, again, that this show has survived is because it has an audience that comes back to it. and has fond memories of being traumatized as children, or they come back as they do to Star Trek because they were either the generation before who followed Kirk and Spock and Bones, or our generation of, who are all grown up now, but our show was on in the late 80s, and now there's an audience for Strange New Worlds and hopefully for Starfleet Academy. So it's the, what is the word? It's the memory of something that they enjoyed either with their family or as a child, or that reminds them, oh, I can go back to that safely and have a good memory of it. And I think that seems to be the secret, the things that have been made and survived. Very long-winded answer, I apologize, but it's a very funny, weird time in the business. I'm not as concerned about AI as some, because I'm not sure that it can hurt. I know that people are worried about having their images stolen and all that shit, but it's, that's already happening. And also AI can be an energy for good, if you will, in the medical field and others. So I'm not as terrified of it as some are. Also, I'm very happy to be playing a human being instead of an alien, in case you wanted to know. Less time in makeup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, time is slowly clicking. Passt auf euch auf und trinkt bitte genug. Die Temperaturen draußen steigen noch an. Okay. Ich denke, wir machen noch 2 Fragen. Two more questions and then...
2 more questions, then we'll go stay hydrated.
Absolutely.
Hi. My question is not Beyond Belief related or Star Trek related.
I like it already.
But I'm also a big Leverage fan, and
Oh!
yes. So you did direct a couple of episodes already, and you had like a few little cameos. Is there any plans to actually have a cameo with a speaking lines somewhere down the line?
You would think, after all the shows I've done for Dean
Yes.
Devlin, all those 8 years of Leverage, now with Leverage Redemption, 2 Librarians movies, 4 or 5 years of Librarians, you'd think he would give me a speaking part.
He doesn't.
Give him a call.
Well, don't
Well-
have his phone number, but I'm trying.
Dude, please try. There's he's got 3 shows now in Serbia. We're not going to go shoot in Serbia, are we? I hear it's very productive, friendly. Visual effects are very inexpensive. Right up your alley.
Thank you so much.
Affordable.
Probably next Halloween.
Yeah. Okay, who's got a great last question for us? Boom. Yes.
This is going to be the last one. We go take this one and this last one, so hopefully make it quick.
Nice look. I wear my sunglasses at night so that I can see.
As a child, I was completely convinced Jonathan Frakes hosts X Factor because of Leonard Nimoy hosting In Search Of. And I was wondering if the style of the show was influenced by this, or if you were aware of Nimoy doing a rather similar thing on another show.
I wasn't aware of Nimoy, but I have certainly followed in his footsteps as a director and as a first officer. But I think the Beyond Belief Factor fiction did not try to emulate the other show. I think that's just coincidental. And also, I was not the first host on Beyond Belief. James Brolin was. Why he quit that job, I have no idea. I'm grateful.
We're happy today, that's for sure.
Yes, I always thought it was the duty of the first officer to also host the mystery show.
Yes, that's exactly. I think that's the answer you're looking for.
Thank you.
Very good. One last question over there.
Hi.
I have a music-related question. When's the last time you picked up your trombone, and did you bring a mouthpiece?
Oh, God. I'm embarrassed to say that I have tried to encourage myself to play more by leaving my trombone on my trombone stand in my house.
Good thing I brought one.
Yes, I did not bring a mouthpiece.
I got an extra.
Okay, fair enough. I can give you 8 bars.
Okay, deal.
Fair enough. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming. Watch X Factor, support us. We'll make more. Thank you, gentlemen, for having us.
Jonathan Frakes, everyone. Hello, mon boy.
Thank you very much, Benjamin Bones, Gerhard Putz, and Jonathan Frakes. Hope to see you again next year.